In this video, I'm going to be talking you through what I've learned from Gary Barlow's songwriting course on BBC Maestro. I'll leave a link to where you can get this course at the top of the description of this video, and if you're watching this video within the first couple of weeks of release, there's a little bonus down there just for you guys as well. But first of all, I've got to say that I actually feel a little bit indebted to Gary Barlow himself, actually, because around 10 years ago, I watched an interview with him where he was talking about songwriting, and the advice he gave in that video directly led to me writing probably the best piano riff I've ever come up with. That riff was this. That is a piano part that's 100% original. That is my riff. And that is a part that I came up with as a direct result of watching a particular songwriting video of Gary Barlow. Specifically, the advice was to try something in different keys. And he said, write something in A flat. So I did write something in A flat. And that was the riff that I came up with. But it was after also being inspired by watching half an hour of someone as talented as Gary walk you through his process, play the parts that he came up with and where directions he could have taken it, where he did take it, where the ideas came from. It was super, super inspiring. So I just wanted to give you my thoughts after I've watched every video in this course, checked out some of the exercises, and I hope you enjoy this video. So I have the course in front of me here, and the first thing that struck me about it that I thought was pretty cool are the lessons on where Gary deconstructs a certain song that he's written, how he wrote it, how he came up with it, how he came up with the melodies and things like that. And I always love videos where songwriters talk about how they wrote one song or another. However, the thing that had the most impact on me with this course is where Gary actually writes a song totally from scratch, right there on camera, and you're like a fly on the wall, and he's just talking aloud about where the ideas are coming from, the options available, and why he's making certain choices. Those videos blew me away, and that is perhaps the biggest difference between a course such as this and just surfing, songwriting interview or lessons on YouTube. The depth that we go into here, letting you into his thought process, and also just having the time to sit there and you watching him come up with different ideas and going, oh, that doesn't work, I like this, there's something here. This, for example, at one point he says, this is the goal, this is the reason I'm following this idea. Those things are invaluable, and I've never actually seen those before done as well as this, where it's him alone in the studio and we're that fly on the wall. It was really incredible. My second biggest takeaway from this course is something that Gary emphasises throughout, and you can also see him doing while he's writing, and you can imagine him doing it when he was writing his hits as well, which is the importance of staying in the moment. There's a short story he tells about when Take That were writing one of my favourite Take That songs, which is Rule the World. The band were asked to write a song for the movie Stardust, and they saw the movie in a screening, and then they were asked to write that song. And they were all about to go away, go home or go on to their next bit of work. And Gary actually said at the time to the other lads in the band, guys, I think we need to write this song right now. We've got the movie fresh in our heads. We need to make the most of that. And he talks about capitalising on opportunities such as that. And I think that was probably the most inspiring takeaway, because he's such a long career. He's done so many different things as Gary. That's probably the biggest takeaway from it, knowing which opportunities to take and also really committing to those opportunities, perhaps however small or insignificant they might seem at the time. You never know. You're only a few chords away from writing a career-defining song, a life-defining song in many ways. And it doesn't have to be a #1 hit for it to be a career or life-defining song, because I know for myself, this is the thing that I find the most rewarding out of all aspects of music or playing music. It's the fact that it gives me the opportunity to come up with parts, come up with chord progressions and turn them into a song, or sometimes in my case turn them into exercises and things for students to benefit from. That's when this whole process changes, and we're not recreating songs that we've heard before, we are creating something new. It really is the most rewarding experience, I think. Takeaway 3 from this course is some fantastic songwriting exercises. And to be honest, with courses of this style, with this production value, with a big name such as Gary Barlow, they can often be a little bit light on the practical element, and this course isn't. A lot of that can be found and reinforced in the course notes, which are downloadable. There's a downloadable ebook with it. One of those exercises, for example, is taking a story or some words or lyrical ideas from the news, from newspapers, from online articles, and writing a song with that, or at least coming up with song titles, lyrical ideas, and starting to put them to a basic melody. That's something that anybody can apply, whether they play an instrument or not. And you don't have to be a piano player or a keyboard player. You don't have to be a guitar player to make the most of a songwriting course. Technology makes all this available to all of us. I've recently released a GarageBand course, which, requires very little musical ability or no musical ability to get started. You can just treat it like an app and just get started, get drawing in the notes and go from there. My fourth biggest takeaway from this course were the amount of things that it covers that actually cross over as good advice to take into a songwriting career, into a music career, or just general life advice, following instincts, embracing opportunities and trying to capitalize on opportunities. He makes the point that when it comes to being a musician and being a songwriter, you are your own CEO. No one is going to do this for you. And it's an important point with a songwriting course, with a creative course. Nobody can write your words for you. Nobody can write your music for you. You have to, it is an inward journey, and then after that inward journey, we have to take something out, put it onto the page, put it onto the guitar, put it into our recording software, or sing it into our mobile phone onto the voice memos kind of feature. I think most people or most musicians, of course, they want to write a #1 hit song. They want to be a songwriter, but nobody can do it for you. It is your job to make sure that you set aside the time and make the commitment to actually making something happen for yourself. The best songwriting course for me personally is not one where I'm just sat back for a couple of hours watching different videos and I'm very entertained. It is actually when I'm actively sat at my computer, guitar in hand, piano right next to me, notepad next to me or notepad open on the computer, and I'm ready. I'm there ready like, I've heard songwriting, a good analogy is a bit like fishing. Every day can be a fishing day, but not every day is a catching day. So you're there literally waiting for the idea to hit, and as soon as you get a bite, you've got to take charge. As Gary says, you've got to take that opportunity. That's what I would be doing with courses such as this, and I highly, highly recommend that you check it out. So as I say, there's a link in the description of this video where you can learn more about this course, watch the trailer and see whether it's something for you. I can't wait to make more videos about, supporting songwriters and giving you guys ideas on my own YouTube channel and on my website. But for now, this is by far the most comprehensive one that I've come across, and it's certainly something that's inspired me. I've actually written a Christmas song in the last week. I've written a Christmas song with the title that I had about, a couple of Christmases ago maybe, but I could never put a song to it. And actually from the musical lessons that Gary's done in this songwriting course, I've put music to that and actually finished an old idea. So that actually has, again, led to me actually outputting a new song. And you can't ask for any more than that from a songwriting course. So I hope you enjoy it. Check it out. Links in the description. And I hope to see you guys next time. Bye for now.